Well, I'm back with my Nikon S2, and I've been shooting this for a week and a half now, and I can say, just to sum it up, I like it. It's a great camera. I really recommend it if you're looking for a high-end, very, top-of-the-line, mid-century rangefinder with an excellent set of optics. Now, more in depth. As I'd mentioned in my first impressions video, the S series here is basically just the Nikon F without the mirror box. Well, actually, it's the other way around. The one of the descendants of this camera, the Nikon SP, is is one of the rangefinders that they put out, one of the later ones. And to create the F, they just put a mirror box on it, put a prism, and called it a day. And of course, you had to put a new mount on there because these S mount lenses are actually intrusive into the body. If I can, there we go. They're intrusive into the body, so of course that's not conducive to putting a big mirror in there. So they shortened the mount there. These are completely different optics. This one here is a sonar. This one here is a double Gauss. So even though they're both 50mm f2, they're two different lenses in totality. Anyway, you can see this one stops pretty much at the flange, and this one does not. It just goes straight in. Anyway, I digress. I've been shooting the Nikon F and various lenses on it. I have, I think, around about 15 different lenses for the F mount at this point. I've been shooting this for a year now, and I can confidently say it's my favorite 35mm SLR. I've used it for everything. If I have a scenario that I absolutely need to get a shot somewhere, I know that this will absolutely get that shot, no matter how demanding it is, especially if you have the top-of-the-line Nikkor lenses. I like to keep mine the F series, so the silver nose versions, because I like to keep it matching. I know really, objectively speaking, these will give you not the best performance of them all because they're single coated, and well, mainly because they're single coated. I don't really care. I shoot a lot of black and white. The coatings, I like the older coatings better. They give me a more retro look, as even though I don't like using that term. Um, but I like how it keeps the camera original. How this is the type of lens that would have been on this camera when you bought one back in the day. Now, I also have here a Leica 3C. With a Summerit 5cm f1.5 lens. Lights made. This one is the if you've ever heard of the Xenon lens, this is identical to the Xenon lens. It just has a new badge on it. It was made under contract from Schneider Kreuznach for Leica. But I digress. As I'd mentioned in the previous video I did on these, the Nikon rangefinders are essentially Contax rangefinders that have a Leica shutter in them. And the Leica shutter, if you put them side by side, you listen to them, they sound almost identical. And if you're used to the Nikon F, this is a Nikon F flavored rangefinder. So, like I said, I absolutely love the F. It gives me great results, and it's super fun to shoot. I absolutely love the Leica for some circumstances. I mean, after all, the Barnax are not the most capable cameras on the face of the earth. But they're really good for candid shots, on the go shooting, street shots, etc. Combine the two, you get this, and this is an excellent camera. I brought this down to Florida for a week. I shot with it for that whole time, all over the state, well, south of the state. Only with this excuse me, with this lens only, the 50mm f2 or 5cm f2. And it's just giving me good results. I'm about to develop the roll from this, but I've developed the rolls that I shot before that from this camera, and this lens is a good performer. I mean, it really has that classic rangefinder look to it. Excellent mid-century, just rendering to the whole image. Really, really nice rendering from this lens. And the body is excellent as well. The winding is so smooth. The shutter is just excellent. It just, you just want to shoot with it. And the tolerances are amazing. I sound like a fanboy for this camera, but to some extent I am now. I've already ordered a 35mm lens for this because I just love shooting 35mm focal length, and the rangefinder optics are excellent, so might as well. So I ordered that. So safe to say, I can put this Leica over there. I won't be using it anytime soon. Safe to say that this rangefinder has found itself a good place among the Fs in my collection. I have three of these that I use regularly for just about any purpose you can imagine, um, professional work. And I think the rangefinder gives me a good option if I just want to do some casual shooting and I don't want to bring out the full F system. I could just put this around my neck, take a few quick shots outside, and just have fun while doing it. So I give the Nikon S series 2 thumbs up, um, especially the S2. I mean, even though the S2 is objectively not the most advanced of them all, I know a lot of people prefer this one over the other ones because the viewfinder is so clear. Yes, it's only 50 millimeter, but it's a really bright, clear viewfinder. I've tried accessory finders before on this, and it just nothing can come close to how amazing and bright and clear this viewfinder is. And also just the proportions of it compared to the camera. The S3 and the SP really have inflated proportions, and it looks kind of cartoony almost, where these earlier cameras are excellent. Um, as for bad things about the camera, I can really only think of one, and that's the frame counter. And it's completely my fault in that when I was reaching for this in my bag, I was holding it like this, and I was accidentally messing up the frame counter here. That is completely my fault. It's no fault of the camera, and in fact, I'd actually rate this as a better frame counter than average because it has basically no slop on it when you're changing it, and it's really precise. It points to an exact hash mark on here to tell you exactly what frame you're on. Where I know some cameras kind of fall in between. You're like, is it this shot? Is it this shot? This one leaves absolutely no guesswork for it, and I really appreciate that. So it's a very well, I keep saying it, but it's true. It's a very well thought out camera, extremely well made. Like you tap on this thing, it's not going anywhere. It's absolutely solid, just as the F is. I mean, if you've ever felt an Nikon F, you'll know that you can bludgeon somebody, beat in a car, pound a few nails, and then still take some photographs with it. Same cannot be said for a Leica, although the Leica is excellent, but these tend to be fragile. These Nikon rangefinders are super robust, excellent optics, very fun to use. What more could you ask for a camera? I mean, that's all I have to say about that. Go and get yourself one.